Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. So, today we have level up conversations. We're going to be talking about relationships. Now, me myself, I've been married for almost 14 years. However, I have a long lineage of being in relationships and different relationships with women, friendships. I'm in a fraternity. But my take on relationships isn't the all and be all. I have some guests that's going to be here to help me go through the relationship arc and their perspective on relationships also. So, if you would please help me introduce my wife and Miss Chosen. I'm going to say Miss Chosen's her bio. Miss Chosen is the CEO of She Speaks Love Podcast and Sacred Truths of Chosen Intuitive Healing. Her birth name is Shirkayla. Let me know if I got that wrong. From adolescent years to adulthood, has a divine background in life upbringing and shortcomings. Long life relationship, marriage of past, going through life evolving, journey to her journey to her becoming, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Such things in never losses, but in love divine lessons. She is a spiritual gangster. She stitched divinely, lover, mother, sister, friend to many. She is Miss Chosen. Let me introduce you to her. How you doing, Miss Chosen?
How you guys doing today?
Doing pretty fine. Can't I'm blessed and highly favored. Can't complain.
That is very beautiful.
Uh, Tell me something about yourself. Although I've told you a lot about you, tell me how did you get into the relationship scene?
My ex-husband and I met each other when we were in eighth grade.
Oh wow,
So it stemmed from there and trying to find my place in the world or matrix, what most people say. The good, the bad, the ugly, but
yeah.
overall love and lessons and beautiful children in it.
So, and when you met in eighth grade, did you know that it was going to be like a forever thing, or
Well, in my
just
heart,
you, you-
in my heart, yeah, I feel like it was gonna be forever. Um, of course, we always say that when you get like your first love or like your first anything. But most people don't try to really pursue it in that aspect as far as for meaning what they say.
yeah?
Um, some young girls, women do, and then some people don't. For myself, I believed it, and I just knew that's what it was going to be, and
I seen somewhere
that's
on social
it.
media somebody said that your first girlfriend got to really break your heart. She really got to cheat on you in order for you to become the dog that you're supposed to be. Like they talking about a man, and I said, "Wow." But but crazy thing is, my first girlfriend did cheat on me, and it kind of
Wow.
broke me. And I didn't have a girlfriend, a real girlfriend, until I met my wife. Um, I went through 4 years of college without a girlfriend, but
Wow.
when I met my wife, I mean, she blew my mind. She rocked my world. And let me introduce my wife right now. Let me go ahead and bring her to the
Yes.
stage. How you doing, Boo?
Hey.
Hi.
That's another kid, another one. We rolling them out.
Another blissful blessing coming through,
Yeah,
Thank
added to
you.
the lineage.
Yep. Well,
yeah.
thank you for
So,
having me.
so, so, tell me, y'all, tell me something about like relationships. What is your key? What is your key thing to relationships? What is your baseline? What is your foundation to relationships?
Would you like to go first?
No, you go ahead, Chosen.
God. I
God.
know it sounds so cliche. Most people, are, oh yeah, I got God, but no, really, God.
Yes.
Um, because even through my marriage, we were in Christianity. Now I don't. I don't claim anything. I'm just spiritual. But I still know the source, God.
Mm-hmm.
And many times I got to see like looking for him to be that head where the biblical text would tell me, or different things that he was supposed to attribute from those texts that what I was taught. So when it didn't happen, I was like, is he is he really one of those people? Like, or is he really who he says he is? Or is he really um it started making different gateways for me to open up my mind and question things. Not that God wouldn't give me something that's remarkable or happy or nothing like that, but it was more so also a learning lesson for me too, or just things that of acceptance of what I want within a marriage or a relationship from anybody in general. um Next thing would be full authenticity. No sugarcoat. Just
Yeah.
full authenticity, communication, trust, everything. But and then also a foundation off of love, not sex. Love.
Mm-hmm.
It's two different things. Um, and and many times if we're not taught that aspect as growing up, then we do go after the love thinking because of the sex. If that makes
Yeah.
sense.
That's true.
So the intellectual minds of stimulating this first before you get to the other part.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of the biggest things for my now that requirement.
Yeah.
That's true. You know, I like that you said love before sex, because establishing that love foundation, I talk about it in a book that I wrote, and it's so important to establish something to hold on to besides love, besides sex, because eventually, I've been with my wife so long. Some days I ain't feeling it. Some days she
Yeah.
ain't feeling it, and
Yeah.
it's something else that we have to tie ourselves to
Right.
besides the physical adaptation of, okay, I need you physically,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
or how about, because spiritually,
Yeah.
you might be broke spiritually one day. Somebody, because anybody can come, like if you're working a job and you're doing your best, you're doing your damnedest, then you fuck around and get laid off. Don't nobody want sex in that moment. We need something.
No,
We need
don't touch
something to,
me.
yeah, we need something to pull us up. Like
Right.
we need a partner to pull us up, and that's what I lean on my wife for. Just that love foundation.
Yeah.
I know that if she's across the world, my home isn't here where I'm at. My home is there. And that's my foundation. Now, if she leaves me, God forbid.
Right.
But
Never.
if she leaves me, then I got to go back to another foundation, which is my family.
Mm-hmm.
But those foundations get lower and lower and lower, but then comes back to God, like you said. And
Exactly. Back to source.
and we have to understand those foundations from a multi-layered perspective. But I mean, I'm feeling that. I appreciate you for answering that. Nini, you got anything?
Yeah, I have to agree with Chosen. Yep. I think that the basis of the foundation definitely needs to be God. Because God sets the order. God first, husband, wife, children, and that provides like a spiritual structure, a spiritual foundation that's unbreakable. Um,
Exactly.
I agree with everything she says, but I'm going to add one thing, just one thing that I think that we both um, help forward in. So I think having a heart of understanding and also giving each other a space to grow,
Hmm.
because who we were at 18 and like 25 is not who we are in our 30s. And I feel like in some relationships people don't have that understanding that you have to give each other space to grow and to step into like those sort of roles that they're going to be performing. I think, I mean, like, I don't think, just like Choi said, like based off of how we grew up, we weren't made into wives, right? That was a learning curve. We had to like learn this whole process, you know. So just having grace with each other, understanding each other, and just like giving each other room to grow. That creates a solid relationship because it says, hey, babe, I'm not perfect, but if you give me a little space, if you tell me what you need, if we can compromise, then
Hmm.
we can be more solid. So I like it. Yeah, but I agree. I agree with both of you guys for
That
sure.
ain't what you said last night when you told me to go downstairs, get my damn water.
Compromise.
Look,
Compromise.
When you
Acts of
say
here's
that
the
last
service.
night,
moment.
you said go
Here's the
downstairs, get my
moment.
goddamn water.
Acts of service. That's my love language. Don't charge it to my brain, but charge it to the pregnancy because you know them hormones come in and it's like whoop whoop.
Yeah, kind of like a underwave, like an undertow
Right.
wave.
Yeah, I
Exactly. But
agree
I
with that.
thank you. I thank you for being patient. And that's one thing I love about my husband is that he's really patient with me and I truly appreciate it.
Yeah, but and I don't, I don't want to have the viewers hinge on that too because we met very young and
We
the
did.
the situations that happened was things that moved us together. Like, just us not being able to afford anything when we first started out. Us having two kids you
20s.
was in your teens
Teens.
and I was
Yeah.
in my early 20s.
20s.
Wow.
So just those growing pains spurred growth.
Hmm.
And I actually taught my wife how to drive. This is how crazy it is.
He did.
Um,
The same
so
thing for my ex.
those growing pains kind of it brought us together. However, those growing pains could pull a lot of people apart. What do you
Yeah.
think is the biggest deterrent of marriages these days? Chosen.
Of these days, well, besides everybody wanting to be sexy red, um, um, I would have to piggyback on saying the growing pains.
Yeah,
When things started getting shaky and rough, it's not because we weren't best friends. It's not because we weren't, we didn't love each other, but we were growing.
yeah,
And like your wife said, having the patience and giving the space while growing. And I was growing up here, and he was still trying to play hand. I'm like, no, let's go here. He's like, no. Um, to the point where overall he just said no. But for society today, honestly, a lot of people are just so hooked on TV or the things that is being promoted that they feel
Social.
like that's what it should be because it's like it's idolized as something that's like boss status,
Hmm.
boss status or things that it should be versus being faithful to one person or really committing to one person or settling down with one person or just those traditional things of enjoying one person for yourself or everybody feels like they need multiple or they don't have enough if they have one.
Right.
um so it's today is like if that foundation wasn't there, it's a
yeah.
very slim to none chance.
You
Very
you
slim
know
to none.
they said I was doing some research earlier, and in the 1970s, divorce rate ticked up significantly, and that's when they established the no fault divorce. Like back before the 1970s, you couldn't get a divorce because of no reason. In the
Hmm.
1970s, they established that you can get a divorce anytime you want to. So
Right.
that's when marriage started to tick down. Now, marriage has dropped
Yeah.
since the 1960s. Marriage has dropped. They said like something crazy, like 60%.
Hmm.
So, uh, and you can see it in all of our music. You can see it in all of the people that's raised today and the way that they
Yes.
carry themselves. The entitlement that people have to say, man, okay, I need to like you in order to be married to you,
Right.
Exactly.
or I need to actually have I need to have an understanding, a broader understanding. My folks got to like you. All these different quirks to say that I got to be married to you. That ain't how shit work. I
Right.
mean, people be like, well, I don't want a local joker. Really, most people meet their wives and their spouses
In
where they
college.
from.
Where they
Yeah,
from.
where they're from, or even if they move out and they come back, nine
Yeah.
times out of ten from where they're from.
Right.
So a lot of people they try to hinge on all these different quirks that they need to meet, all these different metrics that they need to meet in order to have a spouse. And
I
I
say,
mean, is asinine in some sense. What do you think about that, Nene?
um, I think that there is an image of perfection that is portrayed on social media. Um, and like I tell like my daughters and any other woman, just because, people snap their diamond rings on social media, or, they take these beautiful pictures on trips and things of that sort, you don't necessarily know what's going on behind doors. So they portray an image of perfection, yet they are not perfect. So there's people try to live up to that. So when they get into these marriages, they say the vows, but they don't really understand what they mean. So they go in saying till death do us part, until something pop off and death actually do us part, for richer or poorer and things of that sort. So like, you have to really understand that marriage is not perfect. There is no perfect marriage. You have to be dedicated and you have to do the work. Marriage is work. So I think if we get rid of the image of perfection, then a lot of people will see it for actually what it is. Now, it is. I mean, like, there is a study out there that says a certain people who are married have a higher percentage of being happy, or something to the effect. I don't know what it is, but I read it a couple of weeks ago. But if we get rid of that image of perfection and show people really what it is, then I think it'll be better. Yeah, I think it'd be better.
Well, I wanted to talk about some things that's going on in the media before we get out of here. Um, what do you guys think about the Jonathan Major stuff?
Oh, don't
I
even
guess
get
we
me.
should have covered that first.
I don't have too much. I look at the media, but it's like I don't indulge too much into it because sometimes it can be a distraction as
Mhm.
for self when I'm on a specific thing. Um, I'll let your wife go first.
Oh my gosh. I would say that, there's a lessons that can definitely be learned there, on why it's so important to choose the right person. Let's just start there. I think, you gotta know, you have to pick somebody that aligns. You can't say you want somebody to be like a Coretta Scott King when they are not a Coretta Scott King. You can't turn mold into something that is edible unless you are a physicist, because that's where penicillin came from. And the last time I checked, you can't do that with humans. So it's all about choosing the right person. If you want a Coretta Scott King, you need to go find one. Don't try to force somebody or mold somebody into something that they are not. Because when you get married or when you're in a relationship, you accept that person at face value. This is who
Girl,
you.
I molded you into a Coretta Scott.
I
I'm
was
just
a
I'm just
there was a Coretta
I'm,
Scott
I'm,
within
I'm,
I'm
me.
about to, but I was about to say, yeah, Chris Scott was in her
I'm
because
just, I'm
if
just
it's not
playing.
in
I'm just
her
playing. I'm
already, she can't be molded.
It's okay. It was already there. So
just
that's why when you found me, you knew you found a good thing. And that's where that favor comes from. Okay? No, I'm
What you
serious
say,
though. But like,
Miss
it
Proverbs?
just comes from choosing the right person. Does that mean that person's gonna be perfect? No. But if you want a Coretta Scott King, you better go find one. Don't be trying to just pick somebody up off the street and then be like, be my Coretta Scott, because I'm a good man. You may be a good man, but you ain't choose a good woman.
That
That's
part.
my opinion.
And then it's just like it's even to just piggyback. It's like okay, I understand like he wanted her to be such things of in alignment with him,
Mm-hmm.
but at where do you take the time to take self accountability?
Right.
And I mean that as in when you seen those signs, when you seen or heard the responses of how she was responding, what were you really basing that marriage off of? That you could make
Right.
somebody? Was there
Exactly.
really a love in the foundation? Did you really go to God about this person? So it's
Exactly.
just a lot of questions and definitely a big lesson learned. It's all over social media. Everybody's talking about your business now.
Exactly.
But
Sheesh.
it goes I go back to him because it's the accountability within self before he even offered.
Because right,
Where was your core values first? Where was your courting? Where was your check marks?
right,
Where did you get the green light go?
right. Because
True.
evidently you passed the red light stop real,
A
real
thousand
quick,
times,
1,000 times. Oh Lord,
times
no.
10.
Yeah, so there definitely needs to be some sort of accountability there because, like you said, there were red flags. I'm sure, like there were moments that built up to that, But I mean, like you just take it as a lesson learned, grain of
Yeah.
salt, I guess.
Okay, Miss Chosen, can you tell me something about your products? We want to send as much love to you as we can.
Oh.
We want to listen to your podcast and we want
Me
to
too.
buy
I
your
like.
books.
So I am actually in the midst of working on my first book. It starts out with the unconscious state of mind. It is
Okay.
geared towards mental health. I'm a mental health advocate as well as I went through that. That's
Mm-hmm,
actually what embarked on my second part of my spiritual journey. It's fun. Secondly, Sacred Truths and Chose is more of like an intuitive healing. So it's not like you don't get prescribed any medications or anything. It's the source of God and
mm-hmm,
how open that person's willing to be accountable with themselves and deal with the things that happen to self.
mm-hmm,
Um, I don't push anyone right now. I don't charge anything. So it's really donation based. That's what God told me to do. So that's what I do.
mm-hmm.
But as time goes on and I get credentials, of course it'll become to what it's supposed to be. But right now, I'm just being the servant I'm supposed to be mainly. And then she speaks. Um, so she speaks is like is on the forms of yes, the full love, but of course, with the area of career that I'm in, spirituality and healing and coaching is a lot of it. So she speaks in love, but she's coming with a sword. So it's the same biblical text that many read and have read for thousands of years, but the interpretation of the biggest picture, which is them becoming who they're supposed to be through the
Mm-hmm.
coexistence of God within them.
Right,
So speak it in love because a lot of people still are not being taught that
right.
in ministries, and so I'm being a voice and speaking about it.
I love that.
Thank
I
you.
I love
love
it too.
that. That is amazing. Do you have a website?
I'm in the process of that too. So I just basically I'm on TikTok right now. A lot of my followings are from TikTok, so I go live. A lot of people add me in their TikTok podcast. But now God's like, okay, start doing what you're supposed to do. And I'm like, okay,
Shoot your
all right.
TikTok. Can you give me your TikTok tag so I can put it in the chat?
Yes, I can. Love underscore truth goddess.
Underscore
And
True Goddess.
yep, love underscore truth goddess.
Okay.
Or it'll pop up as sacred truth for chosen. But mainly I never imagined doing something like this. I wasn't raised in Christianity or any type of church, no nothing. So that's not my background at all. But I
Mm-hmm,
know that when I was going through the things I was going through at 17 and I've heard of Christ Jesus, I was like, okay, God, I just want to know you. I
mm-hmm.
want to know the truth. And that used to be my journey. Like, and I have journals from like 2015 way back. Okay, God. And whenever you tell me what the mission is, I'm going to be obedient. Whenever you tell me what the mission is, I'm going to be obedient. So here it is. I'm now 30 and had to go through severe of intensity of being humiliated, everything. But it was still for the greater good. Because had it not been, I wouldn't be able to speak, or had it not been, I wouldn't be able to be that reflection, or had it not been, I wouldn't be able to still embody that love that I have.
Right.
So overall, I can be more thankful in life, like,
Mhm.
and then not only that, but getting to see the real practical application and supplication from the biblical text being used in my life.
Mhm.
Literally, like something's due or something gets cut off, I'll continue my day, and then once I'm done with work or something, okay, God, I'm sitting quietly. What should I
Listen.
do? Because every
Mhm.
solution is already within you because He is within you.
That's
So
right.
practical application,
Amen.
legitimate.
Amen. Well, you keep that spirit. Go hard with it. Always know. That's amazing that you didn't know. Because
Mhm.
I grew up in the church, but when you didn't know, I mean, you got something in store for you. So keep on going.
You
Yeah, I
Keep
was I
on
was
going.
condemned for a long time until God was like, I need you to leave. He even told me to leave the church. And when I left and I told my bishop, I said, hey, I was an armor bearer and everything. I said, God told me I have to leave. And he's like, oh, you're being a sheep. I said, no, God told me I gotta leave.
I mean, like, and that's okay too, because God said that His sheep know His voice. So be a sheep. Yeah, be a sheep.
You're exactly right.
Yeah. It was kind of the same for us too. I think God had us out in the wilderness for a little bit. Sometimes God has to remove you from those things that are loud, that's overpowering us, so that we can actually hear
Here,
He's
yeah,
saying. So that sometimes He just has to move us away from that and just take us through a process. So when He puts us back, because you got to go back,
You
you're
do.
going
hmm,
back. You will understand, you will recognize that still quiet voice versus all the loudness
all the
around.
loud.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
The first thing that happened to Jesus when he came back and they started to write about him, he met John the Baptist, and right after that, the Holy Spirit led him into the wilderness for 40 days.
Yep.
So you a lot of times you got to go into the wilderness in order to become the best version of yourself.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know, in order a lot of times the I take concepts out of the Bible, and a lot of people, man, they be like, man, you're crazy because the concepts that you use have made it's made me a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
But the concepts that I use is the understanding that certain things have to happen in order for other things to move and come
To
forward.
become, yeah.
Yeah, so
Hmm.
in order for you to go up, you have to go down.
Mm-hmm.
So, I traded stocks a lot for a long period of time. And if you look at the stock market is like this. Damn, I
Yeah.
hit my
It,
phone.
well,
Yeah, so the stock market is like this. And the best time to get in the stock is when it's doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Because when it goes like this, you're gonna make the most money.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you buy the stock right here and then it goes up a little bit, then comes back down, you lost money.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Best time to get into the stock is when it's going down.
It's going
So
down.
a lot of people don't understand the dynamics of finance, and I've understood the dynamics of finance because I've been made to understand those dynamics through the concepts in the word. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
and I'm telling you, it's the craziest thing I've never seen. Where my wife would tell you, like, the jobs that I get it just comes out of nowhere,
Yeah.
and I make almost double or triple than what she makes. But
Yeah.
it's not even about that. It's just the
You,
understanding the
yeah. And
understanding the concepts,
you applied it.
understanding the
That's the
concepts
big
that you
thing.
have to distance yourself, and you have to go through the negative in order to get to the positive. Now,
Right.
if you take yourself through the negative, if you say, okay, I'm going to do the hard part first, then you're always going to come out on a positive end.
Right.
So I used to tell my kids, I said, do the hard part first, do the hard part first, do the hard part first.
Mm-hmm.
And
Ooh,
they were like, why you keep on telling me that? I said, because if you take yourself through the hard part, the easy part has to come.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the concepts of the word. It says God is not
right.
mocked. you sow what you reap. And he said,
Woo!
if I, he said, Jesus said, unless I become like this seed that dies, that goes down into the ground and dies, I
Mhm.
cannot rise again.
Right.
So you have to, the seed has to go down and die in order to become the next level. So a lot of times when I'm trying to get to the next level, I'm seeing how I can kill this position and
Mhm.
get to
Yeah.
the next level. Let go of this position and get to the next level. So
Mhm.
those concepts, they rule me. But I think we're at time. Thank you all for coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna be
Back.
having
And
this
thank you
same
for having me.
Yeah.
we're gonna be having this same stream next Tuesday.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know if you'll be back, Miss Chosen, but you're always welcome.
Yes.
I know my wife. I'm probably gonna keep her going until we get more people coming on day
Oh
by
snap.
day or week by week. Okay. So
Yes,
I
sir.
know I got my brother coming on tomorrow for tomorrow we're gonna be talking about politics, and Thursday, which is a popular topic, so I got that all filled up. We're gonna be talking about black culture. So I thank you all. This is Level Up Conversations. Stay active. I'm gonna just that's gonna be my tag. Stay active.
Stay
Yes.
active.
Bye.
All right.
Bye.
See you later.
Later.